I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? Guys, it's Saturday. This morning, Judge Amy Berman Jackson ruled that Binance.us does not have to honor a temporary restraining order attempting to be placed on them by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that seems on the surface to be a gigantic win for cryptocurrency. But is it? Let's kind of dig in here and let's see what exactly happened and why do we have a real cause to celebrate. First up, Ellie Tarrant from Fox Business. As you know, we've been on podcast multiple times together recently. New from an industry insider in response to the judge's Binance SEC TRO ruling. Binance put out a restrained public response to the TRO ruling out of respect for the judge, but they are celebrating what is a crushing defeat for the SEC. Now, rarely are government agencies denied a temporary restraining order by the courts. Judge Berman holding the SEC's feet to the fire on not having the evidence to suggest funds have been misused sends a clear message to regulators across the globe that the SEC doesn't have the goods to substantiate their most damaging allegations. Now, that sounds on the surface to be an amazing win, but is it really? Well, when we dig in just a little bit deeper, we find this. They agreed to do this and avoided the freezing of exchange assets in return for greater transparency and oversight, which is what the SEC wants to begin with. According to the consent order approved this morning, the consent order signed by Amy Berman Jackson comes after the SEC filed an emergency order last week calling for the freezing of assets held by Binance.us holding companies and the repatriation of assets to the United States. I'm sorry, the what to the United States? The answer to that was the repatriation of assets to the United States. So what we found out in this filing was that not only did Binance.us hold our assets, which anytime you do business with an exchange, that's what happens, but they had them offshore. These were not assets for Americans held in American banks by and for Americans or on the Binance.us exchange directly. So there was another article that popped up right afterwards. It says the U.S. subsidiary of cryptocurrency exchange Binance has avoided an asset freeze that would have made it impossible to do business, but it has agreed to burdensome terms to keep operating during a civil case brought by the SEC that charged the company with evading critical regulatory oversight. Under the consent order signed on Saturday, Binance.us has agreed to repatriate assets held for the benefit of domestic customers and keep them under control of domestic personnel. So our assets, Binance assets, your customer assets, were not even being held where they could be monitored by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And CZ does not have access to such funds. And to verify that, Binance Holding as well will not have access. Limit company spending to regular business expenses and submit to expedited discovery regarding the custody and security of client assets. Binance personnel were also ordered not to destroy documents or other evidence relevant to the consent order, among other requirements. In addition to that, it was revealed just in the last day that Binance.us has laid off 50% of its workforce, which if you ask CZ Binance, you're only going to get one response. He's just going to say 4, ignore the FUD, while still confirming that they did lay these people off. So what you have is a temporary restraining order that did not get done, which is great for cryptocurrency. But we also found out that Binance was not even holding American assets in America and laid off half of their force. And the Securities and Exchange Commission wanted to ensure that both Binance Holdings and CZ Binance did not have direct access to customers' funds. So something big is going on here, something a little bit bigger than just we want Binance to win. Look, if you know me, you know I don't like Binance. I don't like CZ Binance. You don't become a billionaire by being a noble and great person. You do it by stepping on the backs of others. That doesn't mean he's a bad person by nature. It just means that he doesn't mind doing bad things in his quest for dominance. And that is a dangerous thing, my friend. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Remember, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you again very, very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold like the keg the bartender tap. On another level like I'm